B2B sales and marketing peeps, you are in the right place. A big welcome to you to Making Sales Social Live, coming to you from the Social Sales Link virtual studios. I'm Bob Woods, the LinkedIn Sherpa, and I'm joined as always by fellow social selling training consultant and professional, also known as the LinkedIn Whisperer, Brynne Tillman. Brynne, how you doing?
I'm good, Bob. How are you? I'm coming to you from San Francisco.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I was going to say the phrase social sales link virtual studios is especially accurate because Brynne is on the road, as you just heard. She's live in San Fran today, where she's in the middle of a trip that has been quite an adventure, and it's only going to get better.
Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Brynne Tillman and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show.
So, Brynne, I guess why don't you start off with telling us about stop number one on this kind of whistle stop tour out west?
Oh my gosh. So I had so much fun. I was the closing keynote for the Sales 3.0 CRO Conference 23. And I had so much fun. Some of it was meeting some of my favorite people in person. So as good as the conference was, the people were even better. And I have story after story. Shout out to Roderick Jefferson, who killed it on stage about sales enablement. And, you know, I have not been hugged and picked up off my feet in years. So thanks for that bear hug. And I met people like Eli Cohen and Tiffany Bova and some of like my biggest like fangirling people in person. Eli Cohen even included me with his tribe in a amazing dinner. And I got to I met Joe Sabatino, who is an actor / helps people in presentation skills. Like, it was such an amazing experience. And I got to learn about new tools that are coming out for sales and new things and how sales enablement is using AI and how chief revenue officers are talking about AI, because that was really the theme. And, so much to take back. And Bob, you and I are going to do a big debrief next week.
I mean, just hearing about AI, which I knew was going to be brought up there, but I'm insanely jealous that I was not there. I'm very, very, very happy that you were there. So, I know you've got a lot of takeaways from there. Before we get into that, I just want people to know that if they follow you on LinkedIn and they go to your profile and under all activity in posts, you have actually posted several takeaways already. So if y'all want to go there and read those and listen to those, that's a great start. And if you aren't following Brynne on LinkedIn, and me as well, you should probably click that follow and subscribe button, like they always say. But no, seriously, you should do that because she's got some fantastic stuff there. So, Brynne, if there's like probably one huge takeaway that you have, what would that be?
What a great question. I have my list of many takeaways, but I think
I'm sure you do.
if you like overarching, and it's not going to be much of a surprise to you, but the overarching takeaway, hands down, is that sales needs to embrace AI.
Yeah.
That if sales is not embracing AI, sales and marketing, and actually it was at the CRO level. So I say sales, but it was really at the chief revenue officer level, which is marketing, business development, sales, right? That all revenue responsible departments, right? Everyone needs to be using AI, and not just for content, but AI as it grows, it's about really getting a competitive advantage across the board. So I'll throw in a couple things because we really only talk about content because we're social selling, but
Right.
a few things. So a few like high level things is simply, if let's say you're in a growing company and your onboarding has sort of been like kind of random and that there's no process. In one case, the speaker was talking about just go into ChatGPT and say, create an onboarding program for my team. This is the level experience of the salespeople. These are the software platforms that we have available to us. Like, it's this list. The prompt was probably 5 paragraphs.
Wow.
And there was a custom onboarding program, right? Then there was a sales improvement program. We have a rep who's not doing well. So there were 5 questions in the prompt. And what I loved, and we have one prompt like this, but we need to do more like this, where you'd have the prompt come up, and this was actually not even a speaker. This was someone I was talking to at a booth.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was just something everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about this prompt where he has ask a question. So what does the rep think the biggest challenge is for them? What does the sales manager think the biggest challenge is for them? What does the rep feel like they need to improve? What does the sales manager feel like that rep needs to improve? What tools do they need? Where, what challenges? I can't even think. There were tons of questions.
Sure.
And then the prompt at the end takes all of those answers. It shows you the disconnect or the connect between what the rep thinks and the manager thinks. It gives advice. Like, it was amazing, right? So you have a fledgling sales rep, and, there's some active listening and input, right? At the end of the day, this saves us so many hours and maybe even having to lay people off because they weren't hitting their number. There were questions like, what KPIs do you think work toward your goal, and what KPIs work against your goal?
Wow.
Really, 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 really cool stuff. And then it gives you a report on the best way to move forward with that rep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and this is still in. I think it was ChatGPT. It was just prompts. It could be in Bard or whatever. Like, they all kind of work the same way.
Sure.
But the bottom line, this is really beyond using ChatGPT to get content for sales. I mean, this is coaching a call. Take a transcript with a prompt, and it will give you ideas on how to coach for a call, call that a rep had with a prospect.
Looking to up your LinkedIn game? The Social Sales Link team has you covered with our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator, a guided social selling program that includes training, coaching, and so much more. Visit socialsaleslink.com/in for more details. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/in.
So really cool stuff.
That's amazing. And it's funny because I just did a podcast episode for the Making Sales Social side where we talked more about AI and and just how it's being just sorely underutilized by sales departments and that C-level CRO type of thing. And just a couple of things that my guest brought up then was just amazing. And this is something that people should not be afraid of. We should be embracing AI. And it's so encouraging that at the Sales 3.0 conference in Vegas that they're talking about all this. And that's probably what makes Sales 3.0 Sales 3.0, because I remember when it was Sales 2.0.
Oh, me too.
And everything is now beyond that. I mean, compared to what we were talking about for Sales 2.0 and those subjects, what we're talking about now, it should be like maybe Sales 5.0 or something like that, I think.
I don't know, but they definitely had a lot of the right people in the room, for sure. The other side of this, which I thought was interesting, was making it so they had a lot of sales enablement, right?
Sure.
Because we have CRO, and so a ton of sales enablement. Where, again, a shout out to Roderick Jefferson, who killed it. And they also had a speaker from the enablement group that was really good. And they talk about really not just humanizing sales, but empowering salespeople. So and I'm mixing all these up because I don't have my notes in front of me, but one of the speakers, and it's just, I mean, I even like called my husband to tell him about this video, who he didn't care. But I was so like, so here's the video. And it's talking about enabling, well, I'll tee it up. It was talking about enabling people to go beyond their job description, essentially. Letting them make real decisions in real time without having to get permission, right? It's really true enablement. Okay.
Right.
So there are two business people going up an escalator in a mall, and the escalator breaks. And they both look around, and there's no one around. And they start screaming, "Help! We're stuck on an escalator. We're stuck!" Looking around, "Help, help." All right. They talk to each other. "What do we do? I don't know. Maybe we have to, we'll wait." Someone screams, "Well, hey, we have help coming." "Okay, great." And now they do nothing. And then the help comes, the fixer guy comes, elevator one level below, and he gets on and starts going up, and the escalator breaks. So he's now stuck. And so then it ends, right? But the visual of this about how we limit the innovation in our teams, the way that we give them a job description. And I know I'm going on and on, but I'm going to actually use Social Sales Link as an example.
Please do.
Kath Kapati is our boss. Like, she runs the behind the scenes company, but I hired her as a BDR because I liked her and she was smart. And so I said, all right, I'm going to give her a sales navigator license and she could do some outreach, warm outreach, and whatever. And about 3 months in, we're talking about a challenge. And she's like, "Oh, I used to handle that at my old company. I ran a team of 17 people that I make it, whatever, right?" I'm like, "Oh, what else have you done?" "Well, I've done this and this and this and this and this." And she was so overqualified for this BDR role, but I never asked. And fortunately, at the right time, she shared. But we have to start asking. We have to start asking our team, what are you good at? What do you love? What would you like to do? Where would you like to be? Because if we don't find out what they're capable of, and we just kind of put them on this step, on this escalator, we're never going to get them to walk up.
Right.
So I thought that was fun.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So, and like I said before, there's so much that we could fill hours in a podcast about that we just don't have time to today. But go to Brynne's LinkedIn, go to her feed. She has several very, very good takeaways there that go beyond that, that go beyond what we're talking about here today. So if you want even more of those insights, go ahead and go to her feeds. And speaking of insights, Brynne, something has happened with you lately having to do with LinkedIn that is going to make your insights much, much, much wider. And we are all so psyched and excited about it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you about what's coming, and we can talk more about what happened afterwards. But I'm now here in San Francisco, getting ready to head over to the LinkedIn offices. I was recently named one of the LinkedIn Sales Insiders, which is like a career highlight for me. And now I get to do all kinds of fun things with them. I'm going to have lunch with them today. There's an evening program tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're filming a movie, whatever that is. So I'll keep you informed.
That's amazing. That's just amazing. So just so people who don't know what a LinkedIn insider is, why don't you fill us in on that really quick and what that entails?
Yeah, it's run by the Sales Solutions team, which is Sales Navigator. And they identified 16 people. Last year it was 21. So there's a total of 37 of us right now, where I will tell you more as I learn, but it's about us sharing how we sell so that we can help other people, really succeed. So, they'll push out content. There's strategic content that will be developed to help the sales world inside of LinkedIn. I'm hoping, I'm on a panel. I forgot about that. So that'll be fun. A panel, the future of sales is women and AI or something like that.
Niching down.
So that'll be fun. So next week, maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, just I think takeaways from that alone would be very valuable to discuss in our Making Sales Social Live next week. So yeah, wow, lots of stuff happening. It's just amazing. You are on a whirlwind tour right now, it seems like.
Yes. Yeah, I'm having fun, but I'm also looking forward to get back to our coaching of our clients because I'm going to miss them this week. But you and Stan are going to do amazing for for holding up the fort, and I appreciate you so much. And our members are lucky to have you. But I love the travel, but I really also love the day-to-day. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're definitely gonna have more on this next week. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thanks again for joining us here on Making Sales Social Live. If you're with us live right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or X, formerly known as Twitter, right now, we do this every week, including this week. We weren't sure if we were going to get on this week, but we actually decided to go ahead and do it. And I'm so glad that we did because there's a lot of good information in this podcast or in this live, which is going to be the podcast episode. If you're listening to us on our podcast right now and you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. That way you'll be alerted when new episodes drop and you'll see a lot of all of our older episodes too. More info on our podcast is available at socialsaleslink.com/podcast. As said during the show, we do this and we do our Making Sales Social interview series. So both of those will be in the previous and, of course, the future ones already. So when you are out and about, be sure to make your sales
social. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.